The thing that keeps us in this church are the people. We have befriended so many people in church and have known them for so long. That's the main attraction for us.
When my mom died, I was just surrounded with love, and we were married in the church. That was wonderful. I've had numerous surgeries on my legs and so forth, and the amount of prayer that I get, and support that I really feel from, you guys and everybody else is just, it's amazing.
Recently, I was struggling a bit, like feeling overwhelmed in my life and all the things that I had committed myself to and I had going on, and just from family life and work and a lot of volunteering that I was doing, and I really had to take a step back from those things, and it was really difficult for me to do that. So being able to talk to Megan and Dave and talk to some of the other members about how I was feeling, and kind of get like their blessing and okay, that it's okay to not have it all together all the time, felt really good, and still to be welcomed here and a part of the church.
Actually, it was about 9 years ago now. I was, the company I'm working for again, I was laid off. And ironically, my last day there was the night I did the reading for Good Friday. And it was hard. And it wasn't a surprise. It was known because the position was moving into our headquarters out in Denver. And but I didn't have any place else to go, and that's such a scary feeling when you leave a job, you exit a job, and you're like, oh my, now what? And the church it was just incredible. The way they rallied, I'm emotional about it. The way they rallied and prayed, and it was just, I don't know, it was something you never forget.
Yeah. So it was when we had a terrible hurricane, and suddenly we had a chain gang.
Oh yeah.
The guys that went out and they went out in the community and helped people clean up after the terrible thing. It was really nice. I think we called them the chain gang.
Yeah, it was.
It was the chain gang. So I think that was kind of a
Insurance
nice
didn't
thing.
like us very much.
What?
Insurance didn't like us very much.
No, that's true. I don't know about that, but it was. They just stepped in, and the guys just stepped in and did that, and they went all over the neighborhood and mostly in Maitland. But
well, my mom passed away in 2014, and I got word of it while I was here working, and I lost it. I mean, I just started screaming because the grief was it just totally overtook me because we were so close. And at the time there was a circle meeting here. And Carolyn Goodman and Anita Ray came into my office, and they hugged me. Carolyn Goodman brought me a Diet Coke. I mean, they just held me, and they just helped me, as I cried, they were there, just holding me and helping me to feel better. So, this church, and then the outpouring of love and support that I got from so many people, the cards that I received, and just, the people constantly coming in and asking me how I was doing, and the care was just overwhelming. And so, so it really did help me get through a very difficult day. And then, the time afterwards, it really did help.
My mom, about 7 years ago, was in the hospital, and so many members of this church came to the hospital to visit us. Hard to talk about still. But it meant so much to my mom and to us to have that outpouring of love. 5 days she was in the hospital and she passed away. And even more members came to her funeral and supported us. And to this day, they are still sending cards saying, I thought of your mom today, or I saw something that reminded me of your mom. Still kind words and hugs, and that meant so much to our family and still means a lot to us.
There was a time, I don't even remember exactly what it was. It may have been right after college, or it was in between jobs. I didn't have a job at the time, and my dad, I was living with them at my parents at the time, and he said, hey, do you want to come do this men's Bible study? And inside I was like, absolutely not. It's like the last thing I want to do right now. I'm depressed. But something said, go to this. So I went to it, and I remember afterwards Rick Anderson just having a talk with me about how he had had that time in his life where he didn't know what he wanted to do or where he wanted to go or what job to take or all of those things. And just hearing that somebody in the church, business owner, had been in a similar position to me, it was very nice to hear. It was good to hear that, like,
I'm not the only one.
I'm not stuck here, right? Like, this is a part of my life. This is a time of my life that,
It's a season.
yeah, a season that I'm going to grow through. And it was just really nice to hear that. And it was really nice to kind of be with like-minded people that can kind of help you in those moments.
It was right after we joined the church. Cindy's father was walking his dog, and a plane crashed out of the sky and didn't land on him, but it landed right near him, and the fireball engulfed him. And the church was very supportive. I mean, that was right when we were joining the church, as a matter of fact, at that point in time. So I remember everybody's been supportive there. And anytime, thank goodness we haven't had real health problems. But boy, when people do have health problems, this church is there. And I mean there. I mean in the waiting room, whether you want them there or not. No, they're there, and they're there with meals. And I know that if we have problems, there are a lot of people who'd be ready to help.
I lost Bob, and just recently in 2020, when my sister passed away from COVID, yes, I had the Stephen minister visit me, and my good friends surrounded me. Yes, I felt very supported by the church. One thing we need to remember is, even though things have changed, and we older members don't adapt too well to change, but we have to remember this is God's house, and He's here, and He's who we come to worship, and not worry about what we want.